The Apple company never ceases to amaze its audience with the incredible features that are ensembled to each upgrade of the smartphone, iPhone. And the company has done it again with the upcoming iPhone 14 Pro. Keep watching to see iPhone 14 Pro, everything you need to know. While the iPhone 13 brought minor upgrades over the iPhone 12 series, with the iPhone 14, we could be in for one of the biggest iPhone upgrades, especially on the Pro models. Camera improvements are almost a given when it comes to the yearly iPhone update. But the iPhone 14 Pro range is said to house something special. A new 1 by 1.3 inches 48 megapixel CMOS image sensor for the main wide-angle lens. The iPhone 13 Pro has set yet another benchmark in smartphone photography and videography. And Apple has even bigger plans for its upcoming flagships. The iPhone 14 Pro will be equipped with a 48 megapixel main camera. The main sensor is expected to be accompanied by a 12-megapixel ultra-wide lens and a 12-megapixel telephoto sensor. This report corroborates with the one from analyst Ming-Chi Kuo, which talked about a 48-megapixel camera with 8K video recording on the Pro models. Kuo reiterated the claim in late September, while also suggesting that the changes would be exclusive to the two high-end models. The idea of a 48-megapixel snapper has also been backed up by another industry analyst, this time from Haitong International Securities. What's more interesting is that the new sensor could offer hybrid operating modes to improve pixel size and light gathering capabilities. Kuo believes that the new 2H22 iPhone may support 48MP output and 12MP output simultaneously. Merging pixels to improve quality, also known as pixel binning, isn't a new concept for Android users, but capturing both simultaneously is yet to be achieved. That's not all either. Kuo claims that with 12MP output, the CIS pixel size of the new 2H22 iPhone increases to about 2.5 which is significantly larger than the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 13, and larger than existing Android phones and close to the DSC level. For reference, the iPhone 13 pixels measure in at 1.7 while the Pro line cranks that up to 1.9 Also, iPhone 14 Pro will be offered with 8GB RAM models, which will be a step up from the 6GB RAM on the iPhone 13 Pro. Apple is expected to use Qualcomm's Snapdragon X65 chip, which is the first 10-gigabit 5G modem with faster connectivity speeds and connectivity improvements. Alongside the X65, Apple is expected to introduce new satellite-based emergency features that will let users send text in emergency situations and report accidents with no cellular coverage. iPhones get an improved chipset every year. Thus, it's easy to presume that we will see a new chipset on the rumored iPhone 14 too. There are conflicting reports about the manufacturing process of the next generation chipset. Some report claims it will be based on a 4nm manufacturing process, while others mention a 3nm manufacturing process. It's also possible that Apple may stick to the 5nm manufacturing process, as TSMC was reported to be facing problems manufacturing small chips. Switching to a narrower structure width will allow for more noticeable improvements to performance and efficiency, which should also have a knock-on effect on battery life. The Pro models will come in a punch-hole design. It further mentioned that iPhone 14 Pro and iPhone 14 Pro Max will come with 6.06-inch and 6.7-inch displays, respectively. The addition of a punch-hole camera hints towards the removal of the notch. One of the key new features of the iPhone 13 Pro and iPhone 13 Pro Max is the 120Hz ProMod display, offering really smooth animations compared to the 60Hz display of the iPhone 13 and iPhone 13 mini. While some might have hoped that the upgraded tech would transition to the rest of the line with the iPhone 14, like with the sensor shift OIS that was exclusive to the iPhone 12 Pro Max before the iPhone 13 range, a report from the ELEX suggests differently. These 120Hz refresh rate OLED panels reported to come from LG will feature a punch-hole design, something that has never been seen on an Apple phone. What's more likely is the standard 60Hz refresh rate, putting it in line with the rest of the standard iPhone range. Apple doesn't want to muddy the waters with its standard and Pro ranges after all. The company wants to try something new this time around. Apple analyst Ming-Chi Kuo said in March 2021 that the 2022 iPhone models would not have a notch and would instead adopt a hole punch design that's been popular on many Android phones. This hole punch will be a centered place cutout that's for the front-facing camera. Kua believes that at a minimum, the high-end iPhone models will have the hole punch design, though if yields are good, all iPhone models coming in 2022 could feature the same notchless design. Curry inside the Elex says that the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max will feature the hole punch design. With no notch, Apple will implement a different solution for Face ID, and rumors suggest that it could be placed under the display. Display analyst Ross Young believes the iPhone 14 Pro models will feature under-display Face ID, though the feature is still in the works and not a guarantee. While most of the Face ID components will need to be under the display, the camera portion will still be available through the cutout, and so front-facing camera quality will not suffer. Reports also state that the Pro models will drop the Lightning port and incorporate a Type-C port. Besides this, Apple may get rid of the huge camera bump. There's more that we have learned about the iPhone 14 Pro, so keep watching to find out everything more about iPhone 14. Besides this, it had flat sides with rounded volume and mute buttons. The sides were said to be made out of titanium, while the rear with glass. John Prosser says that Apple will compensate for the camera bump by making the iPhone 14 Pro thicker. That brings the design close to a merger between the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 4, a comparison made stronger by the addition of circular volume controls, something not seen on the range since the iPhone era, which has been a long time ago. The iPhone 14 Pro may also get an in-display fingerprint scanner. The feature was tipped for the iPhone 13, but it didn't appear, so it's possible that the feature could trickle down to the iPhone 14. Though a variety of colors are depicted in the renders, those were chosen by Prosser and his team to help showcase the design, but suggests that the shade may change by the time production comes along next year. It's far too early to give any concrete predictions on pricing. But the good news is that, even with chip shortages prevalent in 2021 driving up the price Apple has to pay for components, this year's iPhone 13 range comes in at the same price as its predecessor. While this doesn't necessarily mean we're expecting the same from next year's models, it's a good sign that Apple is trying its best to hold the iPhone to its current pricing. Apple has been quite consistent with the recent iPhone launches. The iPhone 13, which is the latest iPhone in the market, was launched on September 14th, 2021, which is around the usual launch time. So we can expect to see the iPhone 14 Pro along with other 14 models launch around the same time in 2022.